Hey guys, so yes, we are getting into Love and Hip Hop New York Season 10. Finally, I was so hype about this. What's crazy is the people that I thought would be the troublemakers were actually the level-headed ones. And the ones that I thought would be the mature and level-headed people ended up being the messy ones. It was crazy. I gotta give this episode an 8 out of 10. It was everything I was expecting. I stand by what I said in my original video. This will be a record-setting season for Love and Hip Hop New York, and I'm going to stand by that for the rest of this season because it seems like it's going to be really good. They haven't introduced the two new cast members, which are both rappers, and y'all know I'm a fan of hip-hop, so I'm very eager to see those new members. But let's get all into this. So let's start with Chrissy and Jim. So the episode pretty much opened up with Chrissy narrating because Chrissy and Jim did start Love and Hip Hop New York. Then she started flashing back on, the previous seasons that she was on. But then she did say that her and Jim was separated, but they are still a couple. I don't know what that means, but when she came to the house, it seemed like she did not live there. So I'm not sure, but it didn't look like they were living together up until that point. She briefly touched on Jim Jones' most recent arrest. For those of you who don't know, Jim Jones had a serious arrest last year for guns and drugs. He ended up getting 2 years probation and a $1,500 fine, plus, of course, the applicable court fees and whatnot. Chrissy also talked about building an investment group of women, which is an awesome idea. I think people should do this with their own families, where they all put in a pot, build properties, and flip them. That's where the money is right now, guys. Real estate, real estate, real estate. That even came up about her foreclosure issues, and she had to explain to, her investors that she wasn't even on the mortgage that was foreclosed on. And it was all Jim Jones' irresponsibility that caused this. And her name is tied into his, so automatically it looks like she's being irresponsible. And who is trying to give their money to someone who can't even manage their own lives, But all in all, Chrissy looks great. I was loving every bit of her on my TV screen. I'm so happy she's back. And what made me love her so much more, with all that strong woman inside of her, and her not feeling like she was wrong about any situation that she had a confrontation in, she still was being very open to making up and clearing the air with people that she didn't get along with, which was Yandy and Kimbella. So she first met with Kimbella. They sat down. It was a little tense at first, but they were grown women and they ended up hashing things out. And I really think that they would make great friends because they are both seem to me like two people that are really real. After all of that, from their last connection on TV, I don't think I could have been that big. So I gotta give it to Kimbella. Kudos, sis. Kudos. She looked great in every scene. I mean, Kimbella always looks nice, though. She always puts herself together really, really nice. And that's, she shocked me as well because I really thought she wasn't going to try to hear nothing Chrissy had to say. And that was that. Or they was about to start arguing or riffing because they are two of the same personalities. But to my surprise, they hashed it out and they were doing well. Like, I really liked them together as friends. They really didn't touch too much into her personal life. However, I got to give it to Kim. You are a real one. You just made up with Chrissy and you was not trying to let them, talk crazy about her behind her back. I like that. But Yandy, on the other hand, Miss Positive, Miss Activism. Like, I was so shocked by her behavior. I don't know, maybe it's Chrissy that brings this out of her. But it's like she reverted right back to that old Yandy of messiness. Now, since Kimbella and Chrissy made up, they decided that it would be good for her to make up with Yandy as well. So when Kimbella and Chrissy walked into the event, Yandy's face just went to shit right away. So as they begin to talk about what transpired to cause them to be where they are, and Chrissy is expressing, you did this, you did that, and this is how I felt, Yandy says, Oh, I don't remember that. Girl, they done played it over and over and over. I'm sure you done watched the tapes. I'm sure you done seen it over and over again. You gonna tell me you don't remember being so personal into these people's relationship? I get it, you was his manager, but you weren't his financial manager. You was his manager of his music career, not his finances. And if the role you were coming into the show as a manager, then of course her feeling like you're doing the most would be a valid feeling. I mean, I don't understand why nobody gets that. Had she joined the show as a friend, then that's something else. But she joined the show as a business person, but was acting like a ratchet. But since it all, she has been growing to be, to me, a very positive person. Since she's been on the show, she's been dodging pretty much all the real drama. She has just been being Yandy and doing her. And now it seems to me like she's really upset that Chrissy is on this show. That's what it looked like to me. I'm just saying. So, of course, they did not make up, because you can't make up if no one's going to be honest about their role in the confrontation. So, they didn't make up, but Yandy would sit there and talk about Chrissy and Jim's business. Like, how messy is that? Why are you even discussing this lady if you have no feelings towards her? I just feel like Yandy likes to throw rocks and hide her hands. Like I seen her commenting because, I had to watch the comments. And she's commenting back at people like, oh, what I look like out there fighting? You don't look like nothing out there fighting, but you also need to be quiet and not be starting stuff either if you don't want that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? You can't be starting trouble and then be like, oh, I'm not gonna fight. And Jonathan, I'm gonna need you to pull your head up out of Yandy's ass just a little bit, bro. Like, I used to look at you as somebody that was neutral, someone that had a great energy, someone that no matter if it was their friends or not, because I've seen situations where even it was your friends, if they're wrong, they're wrong. I think you even quoted those words. If you right, you right, you wrong, friends or not, right? But you sitting there co-signing the buffoonery is dead wrong. Especially when you sit up there and just say you was friends with Chrissy for 8 years. For you to be sitting there laughing and shucking and jiving about her misfortune, that is not a good friend. I'm sorry. I'm calling you out, bro. You're dead wrong. And I don't care how much friends you are with Yandy, how much position she put you on the show. If you are truly a friend of Yandy's, you will let her know when she's wrong. Or let her know if this is the energy that you are going to promote. Don't be upset when that's the energy you receive, okay? Because I can't stand people that like to strike matches and throw them into the woods and then talk about they don't play with fire. Like, stop playing. She was all cool at Erica and them wedding I seen on Instagram, but she was sitting there talking about, oh, Erica was just standing there like she was just being so messy. Like, Yandy, thumbs down, sis. I really thought you was going to come on the show. You opened up on a good note with your event for prison reform and, justice reform for our people, and I was digging that. But you ended terribly. But the prison reform thing, like I said, was great because Remy had a chance to talk about being off of parole, and my girl is free, y'all. Yes, she is. I'm like how she stay out the drama too. She sure know how to move herself from the drama. That Remy, do you girl? But anyway, they focused on Remy a little bit too about, her being overwhelmed. She just had the baby. She just signed to a label before she had the baby, so now she got to put out them projects. In fact, Joe, he gave her the best advice in the world. Remy, if you listening, like he said, don't let us down. Because there's still people out here that appreciate real hip-hop. I am not with this generation of wearing underwear as clothing. You do not have to twerk, Rem. Just keep putting them bars out. Be Remy. Don't try to be these new schools. You still got fans out here that appreciate real hip-hop. So just keep doing you, sis. You good no matter what you put out. Because you got bars. So you good. And then you got Pat. Yo, Pat energy is everything. Like, I don't care. She was upset when he came in late, but like his energy is just so genuine and so wholesome that you can't even be mad at him. I know she can't be mad at him long because he's just so agreeable. You feel me? He's an all-in-all awesome guy, and I love you guys. Erica and Safari, I mean, we pretty much know everything. They living their best life. Like I said before, they having a baby. They're getting married on the show. They're already married now. I mean, it's not really much to say, but they was talking about the prenup. You know, she sprung that on him. But, you know, I think they're going to be all right. I don't really got much to say about them. But I like how Erica just can't be fake. Like, Rich coming over there, hugging Safari and reaching out to shake her hand like he run across the table at the last reunion. Like, boy, go sit down somewhere. She did not give him her hand to shake. And I wouldn't have gave him my hand either. Now, last but not least, we're going to talk about Sin and Joe. Joe, if you listening, you got to start owning your stuff. You know, whatever she found in that cell phone, you know it was foul. You should have been doing all the talking. Of course she ran off. But you should have been doing all the explaining and all the begging and all the pleading and fighting for your family. That's what women want sometimes. You gotta fight for her. Like, you just want her to accept whatever you're doing and that's that. Like, that makes no sense. I feel kind of bad for you, saying, but at the same time, your energy on the show and you being messy with Jonathan and them, no good karma, girl. That's what I'm saying. Like, the people that would usually be the peacemakers were being the messiest. I don't know if they fighting for a better recognition. I don't know what it is, but it was messy between Jonathan, Yandy, and Sin Santana. Now, Tahiri did make her appearance with Erica. I like Tahiri, but I think Joe is only equipped to date Joe. Joe is too self-absorbed, in my opinion. He's too arrogant. He cannot coexist with a woman, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. I don't think he's grown up enough in the brain to be a man like that. Because when you're in a relationship, you have to compromise and you have to share and you have to sometimes put up with things you don't like and vice versa. And he's just not willing to do that. And for him to go outside of his relationship as an answer to his problems tells you that he's not grown up in the head. And that is pretty much all I have to say about them. But what did you think of the first episode? Did you like it? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite cast member? Do y'all feel like I feel? Because I just feel like it was a total role reversal going on here. Make sure y'all leave a comment, like this video, definitely subscribe, and also please make sure y'all check back for all that and some more. Now let's get in these comments and talk.